Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Jenny, My Truth Is. And today we're going to talk about my second property that I invested in 2017. So my first property I bought in 2015. I lived in that property for a year where I saved my ass off in order to buy my second property. Now, my second property, I bought it for $155,000. I'm gonna write that down for visual folks. Where I put 5% down, which was about like $7,000. So right here. Property number 2 in 2017, I bought this home for $155,000 and I only had to put $7,000 down, which I had because I was saving all of my my income from my first property as well as my job and living a very minimal lifestyle. So that's how much I paid for it. Now, when I bought the home, so when you buy a home, you have to get an appraisal. An appraisal is when someone goes in the home and do a very thorough investigation of the quality of the home in today's market, of how much the home is actually worth. And to get an appraisal, I know in Norfolk, Virginia, back in 2017, it's pretty expensive. It's about $500 to $600, maybe $700. I want to say maybe it was like, I don't know, $500 back in 2017. So you pay for an appraisal, and that is required when you're getting a loan. So before I even signed my name to get the home, their appraisal came back at $167,000. So I just took out a loan. Well, I bought the home for $155,000, but the value of the home was $167,000. So before I even signed my name and turned the lock in front of the front door, I already had a $7,000 gain. I already made $12,000 for just buying the home, because when the person sells the home, they don't know what the appraiser is going to actually say the value of the home is. This is just your best guess. So I put in my offer, she accepted it, and as soon as you accept it, you can't change the number, and then there's an appraiser. So when the appraiser comes, and if it's more than what you agreed to sell it for, I, the buyer, get to keep it. So that was a blessing right there. Now this house, I was very skeptical about buying this house because it was my second house. My first one came in move-in ready, so I didn't have to do absolutely nothing to the first house. It was turnkey ready. Now this house, it was a much larger home. It had a beautiful backyard, but it had to have new flooring, tile in the bathroom, full fresh paint. So when I bought the home, I have it down here, I spent about $8,000, and I was terrified. I was terrified of spending that much money into my investment because I didn't understand what it would be in the long run, because I already just put down $7,000. So on top of that, I got to put another $8,000 down to make the house beautiful, so people will rent it out and pay me what the rate is that housing was back then. So I put in my $8,000 in this home, and I bought this house in 2017. So 7 plus 8 was, let's just round up, $16,000 is what I put into this home in 2017 that I bought for $155,000. Now I am going to give you 5 seconds to guess how much this home is worth. And I have not added anything to it within the past 6 years. So count 5 seconds, somebody, and I'll tell you how much it's now worth. And I'll even be humble and tell you the low end of how much, if I wanted to sell this house tomorrow, how much it would easily sell for. All right, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. All right, 320,000. That is on the low end. I could sell this house for, I believe, $320,000 to $340,000, and I've only had the home since 2017, so that's about 6 years. So if my home is currently worth $320,000, then I have about 170K. 170K. Now this number is so wide, it's so nice that I have to write it on a new sheet of paper so you can understand what 170K looks like. 170K. This is how much I would profit before my capital gains if I were to sell this house. Okay? So you can't get this return on investment anywhere else. I mean, I guess you can get it at the stock market if you bought into Apple before the big boom. But this right here in today's time is a lot of money for return in investment in 7 years, where I only put down 16,000, and that's rounding up. That's 16,000. So if you really want to get into investment, save for that rainy day, and you just have to make sure that the numbers make sense. This house is very beautiful. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, master suite, and it was sold for $155,000. And I had to know that putting down this $16,000, which for me at the time, I believe I was probably, oh Lord, 27 at the time. Ooh, ha, that bruh, I was a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure I probably had a couple thousands in my account. So that was a risk that I took, and thank you, God, angels, and ancestors, for helping me with my risk. So that's all I have for you today. Just if you're serious about this, just save your money and be smart. Now, don't go buy a $500,000 house and think that you're going to make $2 million in 2 years. The chances of that happen is probably slim to none, but with God, anything can happen. So be smart. One thing I would have to say is, for my properties, I always made sure that if I had at least 3 months of mortgage payments, just in case a renter did not pay rent and I had to go to court. I always had money for at least 3 months rent if anything went wrong. And the reason why I was able to have this money was because I was saving my ass off. And I am going to have another video where I talk about the percent that I save on my checks, and y'all not going to believe it. Y'all not going to believe how much I save. So thank you for joining me at Jenny _ My Truth Is. And my truth is that my property number 2 was an amazing investment. And Thank you. Bye.